Well, hi everyone and welcome. I am so excited. My name is Michanda Myles and I am here with the race director Kim Zest. And we are about to do something very different, and that is bring to you the highlight race guide to you in a video, audible, fun format so that you can listen to it throughout the week, get excited, get prepared, because in less than 7 days, whoa, let me count that out. 7 days we will be at Lake Nokomis for the 16th annual YWCA Minneapolis Women's Triathlon. What? I get to come back to the Midwest. I am thrilled. And I'm so excited to be with you all. Kim, how you feeling?
Surprisingly good.
Okay.
Um, Things are in place, so we're ready.
I hear this song in my mind because I'm actually in Georgia right now. And it's a song that came out from Pastor Troy called We Ready. Hey. So I hear that in my mind as we're going into this. So just know if I'm extra excited, it's because I am embodying Pastor Troy's We Ready. All right. So let's just talk about it. The race guide is very dense, and this is not a replacement for you reading the race guide. This is just an accompaniment. We want to give you something a little special, a little extra. I won't be there in person with you on Saturday, and so I figured this could be a good way to kind of split the difference and present to you in a fun way what you definitely need to know before you show up on Sunday at either 5:45 and definitely before transition closes at 7:45. So all those things in between, get your heart right, get your mind right, get your body right, make sure all the things are ready. We're just going to go through it. Kim, I'm going to let you take us away.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone. I'm really excited to share this with you. We work really hard on having a thorough race guide, and I'm not reading the whole 19 pages to you. But all the time we get questions, and because we provide so much information, it's easy for some things to get lost. So we'll be running through it. Uh, Hopefully, maybe you're looking at the race guide or have it available to you to follow along. So page 3 is the table of contents. And first off, I'll just notice that the sections that are new or significantly updated are highlighted. So if you're a longtime participant of the Women's Tri, those are the key areas to make sure that you read. And that's information about the VIP race experience. Packet pickup has changed, so make sure you check that out. Don't assume that it's just the same as it is every year. I've explained a little bit more about racer number and waves. And then DNF procedures. So the do not finish. These are things that we've always had in place, but this is the first year that I've made it really explicit. So it is a really helpful thing to read, whatever your plans are. And there are some other things, but I just wanted to highlight those things. And then we'll just run through. We got the main venue map. It's not changing much from last year. So if you were with us in 2024, the overall map isn't changing. And I'll also say neither the road closures aren't changing. The race course itself isn't changing. So if you've done the race with us many times, that is all the same. And if you're brand new, just make sure you're familiar with where you're going, both on how to get to the race venue and also, where you're going during the race. So I'm going to jump to page 7 with the race day schedule. As Michanda already mentioned, transition area opens at 5:45 and then closes at 7:45. So that's the window you have to show up, get your bike into transition, get things set up, get your timing chip, and really don't suggest cutting that close. It seems like there's not a lot to do, but it's a zoo. So make sure you've looked at the plans and planned out your morning so that you can get there with time to spare. Then something that gets lost a lot on page 7 are potential changes to that schedule. So we are watching the forecast, we are watching air quality, we're watching water quality, we're watching so many things. New this year is we do have a professional weather support team who's giving us giving me individual personal guidance on the forecast. So we're going to get even more better advanced data than we've ever had before. but you need to be paying attention. We will make an announcement on any potential changes on Wednesday before the race. That's anything that we might know in advance. So water quality, we'll know by Wednesday. But then after that, you just need to read that page 7 on what the potential changes might be if we have thunderstorms, if the air quality changes, if heat, all sorts of other things. And there's a Easter egg in there for you who read it well. So enjoy. Moving on, page 8, all of page 8 is rules. Read them, but I'm going to highlight just a couple that are really important. So the big one is no communication and audio device use of any kind. You can't use headphones of any kind. You can't use your phone in any way. Theoretically, you could have your phone with you, but you can't use it. Right? So that's what bag check is for. Put your phone in bag check. And that is an immediate disqualification because it is such a big factor in safety. I know a lot of running races, it's common for people to be using headphones. In triathlon, we have a lot of moving pieces. It is much higher risk with all people doing all sorts of things. So we really need your full attention. The other one that I want to highlight is no bike drafting or blocking. So in biking, you need to be 3 bike lengths apart, single file. No one's out there with a measuring tape, but you can't be biking directly behind someone and you can't be biking side by side so that we have room for people to pass on the left. And again, it's just super important for safety. You're going to have over 1,000 racers on the super sprint and the sprint course, and biking is a huge factor for safety. So really pay attention to what you're doing. And even if you're biking with a friend, you still need to be single file and 3 bike lengths apart.
Kim,
yeah. Michanda, do you have
go,
anything?
I do. I just actually did a race myself, and I noticed how people don't really pay attention to passing. And so for those of you who are just riding and you're keeping your 3 bike lengths, stay to the right and pass to the left. Kim said that, but I just want to reiterate it because there are people who are going to be coming out of the water at different times, and they may be able to zoom past you, and they want to have a clearance to do so. So remember, bike to your right, pass to your left.
Yep, absolutely. And that's sort of the no drafting, no blocking. No blocking is side by side, but no blocking also means that you bike to the right to allow for passing on the left. Sort of with that, be aware of where the race is going, be paying attention to signs, paying attention to all that sort of thing. Just biking is a huge aspect of safety, so really pay attention. Oh, and on passing it, you don't have to announce a pass. You can say on your left or passing. You don't have to because everyone should be doing the same thing in the right place. So it's not required to announce passing. There are other rules. I'm not going to read them all. Those are the 2 really big ones that I wanted to highlight because they're such safety concerns that we have. So I'm going to keep moving. So page 9 is the VIP race experience. If it applies to you, great. If not, just be aware that we have a VIP race experience. This is something that we're just trying to bring more awareness to. It's an option if you're thinking about 2026. You can register immediately at the champion level, which gives you that VIP race experience. And then in 2026, if you want to fundraise up to that level, you get the VIP race experience. So, page 10, this is big. Packet pickup. You have to pick up your packet. You have several options. We have packet pickup on Wednesday, August 6th at Udapil's Brewing. It's a fairly small window. Don't feel pressured to get there, but just know that it's an option for you. The primary packet pickup is the day before the race, Saturday the 9th at Lake Nokomis. Again, this is in the race guide. You can read all the directions. There is race day packet pickup for people who prepaid. And then if you forgot and you show up on race morning and you hadn't prepaid for it, it's $35 to get your packet. And you need to still make sure that you get there early enough to get your packet and get all your stuff set up before transition area closes. There is also two new things for packet pickup. One is we're going to actually ask for your photo ID. It's always been it's been a rule that you need to be the person picking up your packet. You can't pick up somebody else's packet, but we're actually checking IDs. This is moving us more in line with USA Triathlon standard rules, so we'll check those IDs this time. With that, it is an option to have somebody else pick up your packet if you do all the paperwork in advance. It's in the race guide. It's kind of a production, but it's possible. So,
Kim,
yes.
my mind just was blown. I had to even take down the race guide to make sure I understood, but I'm going to put it back up. Repeat that again about packet pickup, because sometimes that is one of the most missed opportunities. And I don't want any of our fabulous attendees to miss out on that information.
Yeah.
So can you
Packet
please
pickup.
just review that one more time?
So important. I'll also say, I'm going to do a plug. On Saturday at Packet Pickup from, I think, 10 a.m. to like 2 or 3 p.m., Gear West, our bike sponsor, will be there. So if you're having any like last minute safety concerns about your bike, you can bring your bike and have them give it a little once over, which is just a extra nice feature about Saturday Packet Pickup. Packet Pickup, you can't wait till the last minute. There's a lot of things in that packet, like it's on the race guide. There's a whole long list of things that are in your packet, and you need to make sure that they all match. But you have packet pickup options on Wednesday, August 6th. The primary one is Saturday, August 9th, right? You need to have your photo ID because we are requiring that you pick up your own packet. There is the option for somebody else to pick up your packet, but you have to do the paperwork in advance. You can't just send someone to pick somebody else's packet up. So we're asking for photo ID. You need to be the person picking up your packet unless you have done the legwork in advance to arrange for somebody else to pick up your packet for you. So important.
Okay. I think
Yeah.
we're good to move on. I just wanted to make sure they understood that
Yep.
because we want to make sure everyone has a great race experience.
No kidding. And it starts with packet pickup. We want to make sure you get your stuff and you're excited and you can kind of start getting ready and get all of that stuff situated. We'll have lots of, even we also just have a lot of volunteers to answer more questions to make sure you're all ready. So yeah. Okay. Page 11 talks a little bit about racer number and wave number assignment. I'm not going to go over it because it's really just bonus. You will have a racer number. You will have a wave start. Wave is how we start in triathlons. There are just groups of people of when you'll be able to start. That information went out in an email today. So just make sure you look at that and just be aware that it gives you a better idea of how we organize everyone. So speaking of organizing, page 12 is timing, chips, and bag check. The one thing I want to highlight here is chip return. So the timing chip goes on your left ankle on a Velcro strap. Something we're trying to get better about is when you cross the finish line, let a volunteer remove your timing chip. There are two reasons for that. One is we don't want tired racers bending over at the waist, putting their head down, trying to unvelcro something from their leg. It's a safety thing to let a volunteer remove your timing chip for you. And the other is it gives us another chance to just make sure that the timing chip matches your race number, just helping us make sure, like the number, many times that we try to double check that we know where everyone is, that we've accounted for everyone. So please let a volunteer remove your timing chip. There's information about bag check, which I think I will use this moment to talk about transition area opening and closing. So we talked transition area opens at 5:45 to get in, and then at 7:45 before the race starts, then it becomes only for racers in progress. So 7:45 transition area closes. You might not start until 8:15, 8:30, close to 9, depends on your wave. And so if you have your phone, your keys, your flip-flops, warm-ups, if it's a cool morning. You then go bring those to bag check them, and then the transition area, you do your race, you finish your race, and you cannot get back into transition area until the very last racer is done using transition. So that's another reason to use bag check, is so that you can get your phone, your keys, your flip-flops, whatever else you want, because you can't get back into transition. And that is so important to preserve the community support of our race, to make sure that every racer from the first to the last have the same quality experience. But that does mean that if you're not the last racer, you're going to be a little inconvenienced, which is why we have bag check. So moving on. Page 13, this was a new section. The DNF, did not finish procedures. So all the time, this has always been the case, we're just making it explicit this year, is that all the time you might not have the race you planned on having. So you do the swim, you get out there, your goggles fill, you have some panic, you decide this is not for me, a lifeguard brings you to shore, maybe you get out on the bike and your bike inexplicably just falls apart and you can't finish the bike. We really hope that you have the best race day, but these things just happen, and we're here to support you. One of the things about our race is that if at any point you are unable to do the race as planned, we're going to make sure that you're medically safe to continue, and if you are, we'll let you continue. So even if something goes wrong for you, as long as you're medically cleared to continue the race, if you want to continue the race, we're going to let you continue the race, and we'll let you cross the finish line. We want you to celebrate in the best way you can. The key is that we need to make sure that you have informed and that a volunteer has recorded your racer number and the situation. That's the most important part. Hopefully other volunteers and people are helping make that happen, but make sure that you as a racer also need to be responsible to make sure that a volunteer has recorded your racer number and what the situation is. Again, we're just trying to keep track of everyone. And if for some reason you skipped the bike, we don't want to be like, oh my goodness, they're first. And you're like, no, not first. So that's the big thing. You can also have a planned DNF. So, this has happened to me once. I showed up to okay, never mind. I've had many DNFs in my life, but I got to the race and my bike wasn't working. It just wasn't working. And I inexplicably could not bike. And it didn't happen during the race. Right? I knew going to the race that my bike wasn't working. And you can, for our race, please, this is an important day for you. Do the race. Even if you know in advance you're not going to be able to do a portion of something, please do the race and just make sure a volunteer has recorded it. Michanda, do you have any, I feel like most races don't talk about DNF procedures. So do you have any thoughts or questions about this?
Don't let it define you.
Mm-mm.
I think sometimes we go into race day and we can be DNF shaming, or we can feel shame because we had to DNF for whatever reason. So don't let it define you. It's just a moment. It's not forever.
Yeah. And that's why we really want to make sure that you still feel like, for whatever reason, you can still participate to the best of your ability. We want you to be able to keep going in whatever way you can. So it can still be a really successful, wonderful day. And we want to help you have that day.
I too, Kim, have had some DNFs, and I've let it sort of fester on and make me feel a certain type of way, like I'm less than. And so DNF just means it is what it is, right? Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't have any capabilities on you, but sometimes things happen that are out of our control. So
totally.
come with the great expectation that you will reach the finish line. And if anything happens that Kim has listed that's outside of those parameters, then you already know what's in set for you. But just know you're coming in with the mindset of you will get to the finish line. But we also have to plan for if things happen that may
Yep.
not allow you to get to the finish line.
Yeah. And like, let's also say, like, let's say the day before the race, you sprain your ankle. Bummer. Please don't have that happen. Knock on all the wood. But just because you sprain your ankle the day before doesn't mean that to not show up. Show up, do the swim, do the bike, and then tell a volunteer that you're skipping the run, and then just hobble yourself over near the finish line so that you can still cross the finish line with your friends or whoever. So yeah, even if something goes wrong for you the day before, come, show up, do what you can.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. But that is such a near and dear thing to my heart, is to make sure that people can feel like they can do the race, even if it's not what they originally intended. But we have a bunch of information, just general event information. This is also in our spectator guide. I'll use this as a moment. We pulled out some information from the race guide and made it a separate spectator guide. It's the same information, but if you have fans and friends thinking about coming to the race, we wanted to make it easier for them to get the information that's relevant to them without having to wade through race specific information. So there's a spectator guide. It's not different, it's just shorter. And so general event information about where to spectate, reminding, actually, this is a big one, no pets. We love your fuzzy family, but this is a big festival. There's a lot of people. This is not a safe place for fuzzy friends to come watch. So please leave them at home for everyone's safety. Fun things to do. We have a baby care tent. We also have a play zone. So the baby care tent is for any adult who needs to take care and feed and diaper small humans. And then the play zone is meant for families, people with kids under 5. So if you have kids under 5 who need a safe place, we have bubbles and activities and play mats for the little crawling kids and all sorts of other stuff. So that's general event information, some safety stuff. Medical tent is not just for the racers, it's for spectators too. For whatever reason you might need support, safety wise, first aid wise. We have a low waste commitment. Everyone should bring their own water bottle. We have cups and they're compostable, but please just be mindful that we are doing everything we can for environmental responsibility, and that is a community effort.
I love that, Kim. Not to cut you off, but that last year blew my mind. The fact that you have this low waste commitment, and it didn't seem trashy at all, but people having their own bottles to fill up was just brilliant. So thank you
Yeah.
for that thoughtfulness for our environment.
Yeah, we do a lot of things, and I think a really noteworthy one is we do not have any bottled water. So yeah. I mean, and honestly, probably the biggest efforts for low waste go into a lot of the decisions I make before we even get to race day about the things we order and how they're packaged, all that sort of stuff. But on race day, it's a community effort. And we also have low waste stations with volunteers to just make sure that waste gets sorted properly and compostable, recyclable, and trash. So yeah. Accessibility, we're continuing to work on becoming more accessible. It's still not as much as I would like, but there's an accessibility section, just to be aware of it. It's something we're working on, and it's going to take several years before we get where I want to go with our accessibility, but we're working on it. There's a place for results and a QR code. Gratitude ceremony. Michanda will be
Whoop, whoop, let's go.
kicking off the
Gratitude.
competitive awards at 11. But our gratitude ceremony doesn't start till noon, and the big thing, everyone, transition area doesn't reopen. Gratitude doesn't start for a long time. For a lot of racers, you're gonna finish and you're gonna be twiddling your thumbs and you're gonna want to leave. But one of the reasons this race is so important and so special is because we celebrate the last racer and the last racer and the last racers, and we want to make sure that we're as inclusive as possible, and that takes a community effort. So we need you all to plan on sticking around and not be beating down the doors to leave. So hang out. We try to make it as much fun as possible, so you just plan on hanging out with us. And we're going to start door prizes with the gratitude ceremony at noon. And then we have community awards in which people had the opportunity to vote on some of those. And it's just a really great opportunity to come together and celebrate together, celebrate our mission, celebrate you all, celebrate everything that makes this community come together. So we have door prizes. Hopefully that helps with sticking around. This year, new this year, and this is not in the race guide because this did not happen. Race guide had to get published before I could put this out here. But new this year is you will need to put your racer number in the raffle for door prizes. You have to be present to win door prizes, but we need you to make a conscious choice that you are staying for them and put your name in. Also because we have door prizes that are pretty much good for everyone, but also we have our grand door prizes, woo, which are a
You're
VIP.
telling them? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, you're
let's
telling
do
them?
it. I'm
Okay,
ready.
let's
We're
go.
gonna,
Drum roll.
uh,
Okay.
yeah, VIP entry for the 2026 Women's Triathlon. We're gonna give away 2 of those. And then the other one is for 1 annual family YWCA Minneapolis membership. That
Wow.
is worth over $1,500. I realize that not it doesn't apply to everyone, which is also why you have to put your racer number in. So not, I mean, I love all the people who come in from out of town. We love you so much. There are other door prizes that will be relevant to you, as would the, 2026 race entry. But the membership is a big value. So put your, make the commitment to stick around for the ceremony and stick around for the last racer. Put your racer number in for door prizes. Yay!
Yay. Kim,
Yeah.
before we move forward, one, I think that's absolutely incredible. And let me just say, y'all do prizes right.
We try.
Like, I'm still feasting off of like my fanny pack that I got, my water bottle, my insulated bottle with the stickers. It is lovely. However, I know one of the things that we talked about is terms of times that things can shift. If the racers are having a really great day and everything is moving faster, awards might be earlier. But I will make sure during race day to give cues. So be sure to listen out for that.
Yeah.
So we have times that we have listed here. Things may go forward and they may go a little bit backwards. We don't know what will happen, but just be flexible with us. But just know that these are the general times. If anything changes, we'll make announcements day of.
Yeah. I mean, I would also say we talked about this, about possible changes to the race, but a race, if we're waiting for a thunderstorm to pass, then we wait for the thunderstorm to pass, and then it obviously shifts the timetable for everything. So,
Exactly.
okay. We have information about the race course, and it is long, and I am not reading it all, but you should read it. So I'm just going to highlight a couple of things from each area. So, about the swim, body contact in triathlon is just to be expected. You will touch people. It's something we really work on in our support training classes is just getting used to, accidentally running into people. One of the nice things about a women's race is that you can trust that it is not malicious or weird. People just bump into people. Michanda, do you want to say anything a little bit about body contact in the swim?
Create your own path. I think it's one of those things that people are in their own mind during their race, and they're not really thinking about you. And to your point, they're not doing anything maliciously. However, you want to be able to sight and create a path that's as straight as possible that falls in lines with the buoys. That's my only suggestion. And or start at the front of your wave or at the back of your wave to at least prevent the crowding if you have issues with people touching you.
Yeah, there are definitely things you can do, and that's what I'm going to go into. Is we're going to try to reduce congestion, but you're going to touch people. It's just the way it goes. So to reduce congestion, we're encouraging a wider course. So everyone wants to be in line with the buoys, but if you know that you are going to need help from noodle swimmers. Those are our volunteers in the water to give you rest breaks. If if your plan is to make use of swimmers, if you know that you're swimming a lot of different types of strokes that often take up more space, if you just know that you need more space and more time, we're going to encourage you to swim to the right. So that's the wider course. Because we're going to have, more competitive and really fast people, they're really going to want to stay really on top of the buoy line. And if you know you need more space, you're going to swim wide. You can also swim to or start towards the back of your wave. But the truth is that it's a pretty steady stream of people entering the water. So where you start on your wave is not going to make a huge difference, so much as thinking about widening the course and moving to the right. So that's the big thing, is that's what we're trying to encourage people to do to help reduce congestion in the swim, and just to know and expect that you will touch people. We already talked about transition area. Anything in there? I think nope, I'm not gonna. This is in the rules, but helmet must be on and fastened at any point before, during, and after the race. Your helmet has to be on and clipped anytime you are holding your bike, that it is not on the rack. So that's in the rules as well, but I'm just going to use transition to mention it again. mention it. We talked about the rules on the bike. That's all really important. Know that there are race vehicles and like volunteers on their bike as well to help monitor for safety, for rules. And then it's technically called bike sag, support and gear. So that if you have a flat tire, we have some people who can come out and help fix that for you. It can take a while, but just to be aware that that there's a handful of other traffic on the course, but it's otherwise a closed course to traffic. Let's see here. I don't think I have any commentary for the run or the finish. Pretty standard.
I do.
Yeah, go for it.
Your race belt, it's important. Have your race belt on. Perhaps even put it on when you get on the bike and have it flapping in the back. For those of you who aren't serious or care about your time and want to be super aero, but it's a way that you don't forget your race belt, because we want to be able to get you your pictures in a timely fashion, because you've trained this distance, you want to show it off. So be sure to have your race belt in the front when you're running, just so that you can get recognized and get your pictures on race day.
Yeah. I would also say, so I think some people are going to be like, race belt? What race belt? So everybody needs to finish the race with their bib number. So you're going to get a bunch of racer numbers at packet pickup, but the bib number is the one that is larger and it's not sticky. Unlike you've got a sticker that goes on your helmet and sticker that goes on your bike, but you have a bib number that looks like a running race number. And that means you need to finish the race with that on your front. So some people use safety pins, because triathlon with the swimming and the biking and other things, one of the most common things to do is to use a race belt so that you don't need to use safety pins. We have been selling them at packet pickup. We'll see how many we have left. But we're going to have to order more race belts after this year. But race belt, that's Michanda is talking about a race belt. That is for your bib number that you need to finish the run with that on your front. And it's also our backup time. It's a really tough job, but we should have volunteers doing some manual entry of racer numbers as people cross the finish line, and that also helps them.
And I forgot, we have people who may not have done a race before, not done a triathlon, and they're doing a relay, a part of a family team. And so, yes, I use the jargon of race belt because that's the jargon that's typically used for triathlon, because there's no way you're going to be able to swim with your bib number on front of you. So it's just easier to do that. So thank you, Kim, for clarifying that.
Yeah. Well, that is it. There's more detail in the race guide, but we have scrolled through sort of the highlight features. And I'll also just throw out there that if you're still like, transition area, what? I have videos. I have the Try Basic video, just a transition video. They're on YouTube. I don't know if Michanda will be able to link anywhere or link stuff, but they're on YouTube. Honestly, you can go to YouTube and type in YWCA Women's Triathlon Try Basics or Transition Tutorial. Just put in the YWCA Minneapolis Women's Triathlon part in YouTube. There's actually a bunch of stuff in YouTube, but Try Basics and Transition Tutorial are going to be your keys if you are still not, if this video has just made you more nervous, watch those.
Heck, it just made me nervous. You're telling me to link stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a beginner with this whole. This is my first time doing a pre-race. I don't know how to do all that, but I'll try to figure out as much as possible to put it in the link. And even if it doesn't link to it, you may be able to copy and paste it in YouTube to be able to navigate to the different pages that you need for that instance. But before we go, I wanted to add a little. I came up with some fun and practical tips for race day that I just want to add that we could possibly share even on social media. Here are some fun and practical tips that we can use leading up to race day. Get your sleep, number one. You probably won't get sleep Friday and Saturday, so be sure Monday through Thursday to get enough sleep in the bank because we want you nice, refreshed, and ready to have the best race of your life. Body Glide is your bestie boo. Yes, get you some Body Glide, put it in all the places that you think you may chafe, slide, or glide. Put that Body Glide on, all right? Or a form of lubricant that will be helpful for your AV system and above. Was that good?
Yeah.
Okay. The next is socks. If you choose to skip socks, do. If you don't, make sure your socks are ready. Make sure you have something to dry your feet off if that's your jam. But make sure that you have that. There's this toothbrush trick. A clean bike, a quiet bike is a fast bike. Clean your bike off. Make sure it's ready. Like put some take a toothbrush, clean the chain a little bit before race day so that you can have a really faster opportunity in all the oil that has
and grit.
And grit that has
just
coagulated.
Brush
it off. Brush it all the way off. Lay your things out flat the night before or the day before so that you have it and you know what you need. Your bib, your helmet, your socks, your goggles, race belt, your nutrition. It makes it so much easier for race morning as having it. And make a checklist of all the things you need. Practice your transitions. You already know that. Nothing new on race day. And if you do have to try something new on race day, have fun. And don't get upset with yourself because it didn't work out the way you thought it was. You try something new, so you don't know how you may respond to it. So leave the pressure away if you decide to try something. But the rule of thumb
try
is
not to do anything new. Yeah, sometimes you just have to because equipment breaks and you're like, oh no, but try not to do anything new.
And we are really emphasized try because things happen. Okay. Hydration begins before you wake up. A couple of days even before. Be sure to hydrate. I don't know about y'all. On the East Coast, it is humid and hot. I don't drink plain water because plain water is useless. I drink water with some type of electrolyte in it because I want to make sure that I am hydrating even when I'm not. Capture the joy. At the end of the race, be sure to enjoy it. You have photographers. They have probably a videographer who's going to be out on the race course. Smile, enjoy the moment. You've trained for this moment. This is your party. And let me tell you, the YWCA Minneapolis knows how to party.
With your help, it's a good party with you.
Listen, it's a party. We are going to have a party. Swim your swim, run your run, bike your bike. Come, August
10th.
10th.
1 week from today, August 10th.
My brain just had a moment because today is the 3rd. It's my parents' birthday. So 7 days from now is the 10th.
Yeah. Although when you're watching this, when you're watching this, it's no longer 7 days away.
It might not be, but today is August 3rd. And so 7 days from the day that we're taping this will be race day on August 10th. So come out, have a good time, get your mantras together. Lip balm if you're like me. I like to race in lipstick because you want to look good, feel good. have the best race. Have a great time. It is an honor to try. I have this saying on my podcast when I say, whenever you try beginner's luck, you always win. And it truly is. Whenever you try, whenever you get the opportunity to get out there and do something different, it's a win. And I'm excited to be there with you, to see some of you to the finish line, to call your names home, after a long day of being out on the race course and having a sprint or a super sprint triathlon for breakfast. And then we're going to have a good time. The food trucks will be out there. Y'all come ready to party and to try hard.
Yeah.
For the full video, be sure to go to YouTube to get it. There will be a link posted in the chat and or link in the profile. So be sure to go see the full video of all the things that you need to do to prepare for race week. Okay. We ready to wrap this up, Kim?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We are out. We'll see you on August 10th. Be there or be square. That was so lame, but I love it. Okay, y'all. Bye. We are officially out. Okay. Peace. Bye, everybody.